The neon sign flickered weakly against the evening sky, its letters spelling out, Maggie's Diner, in fading red and blue. It was a place I hadn't seen in 20 years, yet it felt like yesterday. As I pushed open the creaky door, the scent of old coffee and grease wrapped around me like a ghost from the past. Little did I know, this forgotten diner held the key to a secret my family had buried for decades. The journey back to my hometown was supposed to be simple, just tying up loose ends after my father's passing. But the moment I stepped inside, I felt it, the weight of something left unsaid. The diner was more than just a relic of my childhood, it was a silent witness to a truth I never knew existed. The counter where I used to spin on the stools as a kid now felt like the starting point of a mystery I had to solve. The locals, some who still remembered me, exchanged glances when I asked about my father's old habits here. Their hesitation spoke volumes. Piece by piece, I uncovered fragments of a story my father never told. A love affair, a betrayal, and a child no one knew about. The diner's walls, lined with yellowed photographs, hid faces I should have recognized. One photo, tucked behind the cash register, showed my father with a woman who wasn't my mother, holding a baby. The date on the back was 2 years before I was born. The diner's owner, an elderly woman named Ruth, finally broke her silence over a slice of pie. She told me about the summer my father worked there, about the woman who left town suddenly, and about the letters my father sent that were never answered. The truth was messy, tangled in the kind of small-town gossip that outlives its subjects. But it was also human, full of mistakes, regrets, and unspoken love. Standing in that diner, I realized my father wasn't just the man I'd known. He was someone else entirely, shaped by choices he'd kept hidden. The discovery didn't erase the father I loved, but it added layers to his memory I never expected. As I left the diner that night, the neon sign buzzed back to life, as if acknowledging the secret it had helped reveal. The past wasn't just behind me, it was part of me now, and that was okay. The diner, with its worn booths and faded wallpaper, felt like a time capsule. Every corner held a memory, a whisper of a life I barely knew. I sat in the same booth where my father used to sit, staring at the same menu he must have memorized. The familiarity was comforting yet unsettling. Ruth, the owner, watched me from behind the counter, her eyes filled with a mix of sympathy and curiosity. She knew more than she let on, and I could tell she was debating whether to share it all. The pie she served me was sweet, but the conversation that followed was bittersweet. She spoke of my father as if he were still alive, recounting his laughter, his quirks, and his moments of quiet reflection. It was strange hearing about him from someone else's perspective, especially someone who knew him in a way I never did. The more she shared, the more I realized how much I didn't know about him. The diner became a portal to a past I had never been part of, yet it felt oddly familiar. The photographs on the walls seemed to come alive, telling stories of their own. I found myself staring at a picture of my father in his younger days, smiling beside a woman I didn't recognize. The resemblance between them was uncanny, and I couldn't help but wonder who she was. Ruth noticed my gaze and sighed deeply, as if she had been waiting for this moment. She handed me a letter, yellowed with age, and told me it was from my father. The handwriting was shaky, filled with emotion and regret. He spoke of a love he couldn't forget, a child he never got to know, and a life he wished he could have lived differently. Reading his words, I felt a mix of anger, sadness, and understanding. The man I thought I knew was someone entirely different, shaped by choices he had kept hidden. The diner, with its peeling paint and creaky floors, became a symbol of the secrets we bury and the truths we uncover. As I left that night, the neon sign buzzed back to life, casting a faint glow on the sidewalk. The past wasn't just behind me, it was part of me now, and that was okay. The journey back to my hometown had been anything but simple, but it was necessary. The diner had given me more than just answers, it had given me a deeper understanding of my father and the complexities of his life. The discovery didn't erase Th.